there, this is Oscar Mikey, and welcome back to this Europa Universalis 4 playthrough. This is the Teutonic Order. Just taking a wee look here, bring myself up to speed. We're just fresh off that war, having successfully defeated Pomenaria. Denmark no longer considers a rival. Poland has announced Teutonic Order's arrival. And we are rivaling Sweden, Brandenburg and Poland. Okay. Think I can manage that for now. A lot of diplomatic power. Let's go ahead and spend it. Wow, we have a lot of money. 676. I don't quite recall how we were able to accrue that much. State system, 79% influence. That's looking a little bit dicey. Don't want to use any of these interactions just yet. Although, thanks to some of my other videos, I am beginning to understand the estate system a little bit better. So hopefully you'll see a more competent interaction with the estate system going forward. Almost maxing out a humanist idea group, which is terrific. High war exhaustion. Not so good. Got a new advisor, but can't for the life of me tell which one. And you can see, once we successfully core those provinces of Pomenaria, thanks to our humanist idea group, they will be subsumed within the greater Prussian culture. And that's exactly why I always pick that idea group first. Hunting accident. His body has been draped by whom you do not know in white cloth, now stained red by his lost vitae. Sorrow overtakes you. Oh well, I think we'll select oh well. It's kind of a theme in my videos actually. Losing heirs. Seems to happen every playthrough, every episode, but we'll go ahead and take it. Let's take a look at our state system here, make sure we don't push ourselves over any thresholds. Since nobility, loyalty's at 52%, I think it's probably worthwhile seeking to boost that a little bit. We've already maxed out our clergy loyalty. Just read. We go, Conrad. Let's name him. This will be our first. We'll call him Manstein. Why not? 355. Now that's what I'm talking about. Finally, we've got a really decent heir. So we'll take him. He's 35 years old, which is good. And he's got 4 shock and 3 fire. Those are excellent offensive stats for a leader. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Better than our last heir, so not too bad. Better than our king also, so might have to send our king floating out in a boat in the middle of nowhere. Incidentally, if you want to kill a king or an heir, one of the best ways I find to do it is just send him out in a single transport ship as leader of a mercenary unit and let that ticking attrition eventually kill him down. Having a heir or king assigned as a leader in an army, I think doubles the chance for them to be killed. And we lost our entire fleet in that war with Pomenaria, so I guess we'll seek to use some of our money to rebuild it. Alright. Can't build ships in provinces that we are coring, so it'll take a little longer than we'd like. But that's fine. I think we've almost doubled our total province size. So we're fast approaching a sort of level of strength where we can hope to contend with the really major powers in Europe, that being Poland, Lithuania. We're still allied with Austria and Bohemia, I see. So again, if you look at our relations, we are doing rather well. Austria has just run amok in the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, we might have to start agitating for a war with Poland. The Mad Seer. Lose 50 administrative power, lose that. I think that's the third time we've had that event. I don't want to lose any administrative power though, because are you kidding me? Another hunting accident? His body has been oh, and that's our good heir. Right, well, Manstein, we barely knew you for some 2 months, but it looks like you're going in the cold earth, and we get this decision again. At least I think that's going to allow us to push our loyalty with the nobility above 57%. It is, so that's a positive side. The negative side, we've just lost 2 heirs in the span of 3 months, both via hunting accidents. You'd think they'd learn. Fortunately, he's not quite as good, 433. He's still a good heir, don't get me wrong, so we'll name him Manstein II. Hopefully this one will live a little longer than its predecessor of 3 months. The plus side, we now have reduced army maintenance modifiers. 7%. Not too bad. Yeah, it's certainly a theme with my videos. We do lose heirs. Having them die in the exact same circumstances, it was probably the same hunt, come to think of it. Imagine having 2 of your heirs die in the same hunt. Well, we'll just have to deal with it. Otherwise, we're doing fairly well, so we'll, again, in keeping with my theme, we'll adhere to my policy of ploughing all administrative points into maxing out that humanist idea group. Force limits way up to 18. And we're about to finish coring those new provinces. And you're going to see, once we have cored those provinces, how low the revolt risk is from them. And the reason why that is of course humanist idea groups. We have that reduced revolt risk, minus 10 years of separatism. Did you see that Sweden has a regency council with 6 free in their monarch points, respectively? That is pretty incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a regency with that high skills. So we have a culture accepted. So again, humanist idea group, newly conquered provinces, minus 2 revolt risk, minus 10 years of separatism, and their culture's been subsumed within our overall culture group, thanks to minus 50% chance of 50% increased ease of subsuming cultures. So we will take that. That's part of the reason why we're able to expand so easily here. Let's take a look. We don't want to declare war on Poland just yet. We are still lagging behind in that military tech power. Don't even want to risk assigning my heir as a general for now. We've lost too many. Revolt. Most of my special events always seem to be bad. I want to take... in Graceful. Well, let's find where the heck that is. Okay. You can see only 3.1 unrest. That's a part of those humanist idea groups. Only 3.1 unrest from a newly conquered province, no less. Always pick humanist idea groups. So we can spend some money on building some buildings if we want. Focus on getting that fleet back in action. and placing my army in a slightly safer spot. Just taking a little bit easier with this playthrough. No need to be constantly at war. Although given our vast treasury reserves, our increased manpower, and our power projection of 81, we are certainly in a position to fight wars. And I think our next target's either going to have to be Poland or Brandenburg. And when we do fight Poland, our goal is going to be conquering a sufficient amount of provinces so that then we can have Polish as an accepted culture. That's the way you expand with the Teutonic Order. Every time you fight a war, the subsequent provinces you accrue, you want that to be part of your culture group. It's going to boost your manpower, increase tax, lower revolt risk, making territorial expansion as easy as it can. Just focus on building this fleet. I'm just waiting for the moment we get a third consecutive hunting accident. I really would rather keep my current heir, Manstein II, heir to Karl Joseph I. We'll seek to mothball that fortification in Gotland because there's not much of a chance of it being attacked. I do want to keep my other fortifications at full strength, however, and why is that? Well, again, we're surrounded by Poland, Lithuania. And since we're already rolling in money, we might as well keep our defences reasonably strong. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. I thought I had lost another heir. No, it turns out our heir, Manstein II, has succeeded his father, called Joseph I. And we have to pick another heir, so this is going to be our third heir we're picking in this short video. I think it's only been 10 minutes. Again, the plus side gives us lots of opportunities to increase our loyalty. So, with our loyalty above 60% with both clergy and nobility, let's work on getting that trade efficiency up. That means I believe we are going to want a merchant son. Just taking a read. Well, since our... another heir? Oh, right, yes. So... yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Good Aryan. Got a bit confused there, wondering why am I having to name another heir. But of course, because our king just died. So, we'll name him Guderian. Suppose our next heir will have to name von Rundstedt. And we'll just go through all the German names I know with a sufficiently Prussian background. So we selected to boost our loyalty with the nobility there, just to get it a little over the threshold of 60%, so if we do have another event, we are going to be fine. I do like these sort of slower paced videos. It's not fun fighting against overwhelming military forces constantly. It is a little draining. But that's what we'll be doing as this Teutonic Order playthrough, of course. I always seem to find myself, typically when I play the Teutonic Order, by about the early 1500s, I'm usually fighting France and Austria and Poland all simultaneously. There will come a point where we're going to have to rescind our alliance with Austria in the future, so we've got that to look forward to. But with those Prussian idea groups, I'm not really worried. Think about maybe fighting a war with Sweden. I don't particularly want any of their territory, but they want my territory, and it might be a good idea to preemptively attack them. Austria declaring war once again. Austria looking so strong at the moment. They could probably quite easily beat up France in their current state. But I find, from our point of view, having a strong Holy Roman Emperor is a good thing, because of course we are still a member of the Holy Roman Empire. I'm going to actually have to read how we can possibly... it's not a decision. How we can possibly become the Emperor ourselves. I'm pretty sure we can't do it, it's a theocracy. Let's see, let's get this decision over. Right, back to our state system again. Let's see here. Well, we don't want to lose clergy loyalty. But we do need to get rid of some clergy influence, interestingly. Can't afford to gain 10 clergy influence, so looks like we're going to have to sacrifice some loyalty for influence here. Can we get it back over the 60% threshold? It doesn't appear so. That's a shame. Nonetheless, I don't like the sound of the clergy seizing power, and... oh dear, Nation of Austria, faithful allies requesting you come to aid in the Holy Roman intervention against Würzburg, Lorraine, Bavaria, and Frankfurt. This is a war they have started. We will join. Plutocratic coup. Okay, we didn't even notice that that event pushed our influence to 80%. Every event's a bad event for me. I never just get a good event. It's always something terrible. So it doesn't look like interaction's going to help us out. So we'll deal with this attempted coup crisis before we deal with this war. So if we remove an estate from the Burges, I believe that will lower their overall influence. Yep. Fair artisanal estates in there. Oh, wow, okay. Now we need to boost their loyalty. We're not doing a very good job handling this estate system. This is something I'm going to have to work on. I'm generally pretty good at the whole technology, culture, military, buildings, development side of things, but not doing too well in the estate system. So let's deal with this war. It looks like if I assist the Austrians, I'm not actually going to have to fight with anyone, but come to think of it, I suppose it's never a bad idea to boost your prestige a little bit by fighting wars. Also, additionally, it'll give us the opportunity to earn some money, so we will join that war. We certainly can't afford to jettison our alliance with Austria yet. We're not that powerful. So, let's send our army. Yeah, we can afford to lose our king because our heir is pretty good, so we'll assign him as a general. Of course, losing a king in a battle, that is if he dies, confers a -2 stability hit. -1 if you lose him through other circumstances, but that's fine. Don't really care. Looming disaster. What on earth? We just had this. What the heck do they want now? Why are they above 82% influence? I'm totally out of my depth here. It seems that It seems that you spend half your time micromanaging these estates in Cossacks. So we'll kick another Berger estate out. And finally we'll get some reprieve from the constant juggling of estates. Don't actually know what happens when a plutocratic coup occurs. It might actually be a good thing. It might force a government type over to like a plutocratic republic, which would allow us, I think, to become the Holy Roman Emperor. Now we're moving our army south. These are the types of battles I ordinarily like to fight. Just walk in, 16,500 troops kills, prestige up, army tradition up, 0 casualties. That's my type of war. Gonna eliminate another 1,000 troops. It's usually what I do when I'm called into a war I don't necessarily want to fight. I just sort of wait around in the shadows and then move in once the enemy army's been defeated, pursue it, and aim to stack wipe it, eliminate another 1,000 troops. I don't expect Austria to give us anything as a result of this war, but we'll be able to occupy some of these provinces at least. To give us a bit of money, a bit of army tradition, a bit of prestige. I am a little worried about the relative power of Austria. They are becoming fairly strong. That was quick. Bavarial Seed. Straubing. Not exactly sure how I pronounce that one. We'll go with Straubing. Straubing to Austria. So Austria is just continuing to expand and become more powerful. I think my aim for now will be accumulating sufficient favours with the Austrians, hoping to get us to that 10 favour point, where they should join us in an offensive war against Poland. So, gain 20 army tradition, I always pick that decision. Let's go boost the army tradition up to 46.8. And army tradition is great because not only does that allow us better generals, for the most part, provided we get reasonably lucky, but it also improves morale and... yeah, improves morale. So, it's looks like there's some 2,000 troops in our territory. They're just going to be annoying and occupy a lot of our provinces. We're going to have to deal with them shortly. We'll break off sufficient troops to complete this siege. We'll send the remainder of our troops back home and deal with this army. There they go. Greifswald. No idea how to pronounce any of these provinces. I'm good at pronouncing Western European provinces, not so good at pronouncing Eastern European provinces. So I'll move through Leipzig, through to Magdeburg, and try and pursue this army. I see they're running away from me. Here they come. Too high taxes. We hear and we can't oblige. We hear, let's see, autonomy or unrest. I think we'll take autonomy. We hear the people singing the song of angry men. It's the sound of people singing who will not be slaves again. If you get that reference, good for you. If you don't, be sure to check out the film Les Miserables. Alright, we've maxed out our humanist idea group, which is very good. With that humanist idea group maxed out, that's going to mean all subsequent administrative technology is 14% cheaper, which is going to allow us to immediately catch up in the administrative tech groups. All about min-maxing. Sign of a really talented player is being able to, you know, manage their tech points efficiently where they're not really dependent on their leader's skills. They're sort of able to just keep up with tech regardless of what type of king they have. The plight of Geisfeld. Now I know for a fact that if we select the second option, reduce total goods produced, there is another event that can fire that I believe has the effect of reducing the base tax or base production of that province. So that's something we're going to avoid. We're going to take the financial cost and ensure we don't suffer that base tax, base production decision that reduces it for us. If you follow what I mean. Alright, this war is approaching its conclusion. Denmark is just completely gone, I didn't even notice that. And in its stead has risen the mighty kingdom of Holstein, assuming it is a kingdom. Could be a duchy actually. Oh, we're just doing a bit of work for the Austrians, mindful of the fact that we are suffering 3% attrition in this province. Peace has been signed. Do we get anything? No, but Austria now owes us 34 favours. Wow, that is not bad. In fact, that should push us way over the threshold where we can fight an offensive war with Poland, which is something I want to get off our plates sooner rather than later, because once we crush Poland, we really don't have any sort of rivals that can hope to contend with us. Now, before we wage that war, I am going to want to make sure I have plenty of fabricated provinces and that we're at least at a parity with Poland's military technology level. Conquest, Poznan and Plock. Austria will join us. We'll have to fight Brandenburg, Lithuania, Moldavia. So it will be an epic war. It's something to look forward to. But for now, I think we'll put a cut in here. I'm Oscar Mike, as always. Thanks for watching.